Hey guys, before we get started, quick little disclaimer here. So my audio for some reason was not working for my microphone. Emil's microphone was working perfectly fine. It's a good thing that he was the guest and I was asking him questions and he was talking most of the time. You'll still be able to hear me, but it just won't be as crystal clear. So just a quick little disclaimer. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. It was showing that, it was working for me. So maybe I got to turn it up a little, or maybe it just wasn't plugged in all the way. But yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy and let's get right into it. You mind if she's there?
Bro, I don't mind at all.
I know.
I think it would be pretty like swag if I just pulled out with a cat like right here, like Dr. Evil.
Are you ready?
Yeah, bro, definitely ready. Let's do it.
We're rolling already.
Oh, we're rolling already?
We're rolling.
Oh,
So
that's crazy. All right, bet for sure.
hello everybody, welcome back to my podcast. My name is Chris, and yeah, welcome back. We got a new guest here. His name is Emil.
Yes.
So
Millie stay active on social media.
there we go. Keep plugging.
You know?
Anything else?
Millie stay active. Millie on Cam on YouTube. Make sure you go follow that. Make sure you go subscribe to that.
The links will definitely be in the description, so be sure to check them out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got him on. He is also like a little bit of a content creator. Dabbles in working out and posting like workout content and stuff like that. So, want to talk about like our history, how we met?
Yeah, let's do that. So that's literally how we met. Like you hit it on the head right there. One day I was just coming out the gym and I see Chris and his boys outside recording a video. And he's basically going up to people saying, "Oh, can you open this jar?" And nobody knows that they super glued the jar shut, right? And this was actually my first video that blew up on TikTok. I think it has about 100K views right now. And it's funny how it wasn't even my piece of content that blew up at first, right? And and so I uploaded it. I uploaded that small clip because like there was a guy in the beginning of the video. He was kind of just like, "Yo, F off."
Yeah.
Like you asked him, then he was like, "F off." Yeah, and then you're just like, "Bro," like. And then I was the next guy up.
Yeah.
I was the next guy up, and literally everybody was failing the whole time. I saw like some like big buff dudes failing opening the jar. I go up and I literally do the Hispanic slap in the back of the pot, whatever it's called, the jar. Yeah, I slapped it in the bottom of the jar. I opened it in like one go, bro. Literally 100K views right there, and that was our first video. That's literally how we met. Like I met him in his element, creating with his boys. And little did he know I was going to start doing the same thing as well. I was creating with my boys. And it's been up ever since, bro. Like, literally, it's been up ever since. That was my first piece of content that really motivated me to start.
Are you serious?
Yeah, literally, bro. It's like when you see success in small aspects, it breeds confidence. So it definitely breeds some kind of confidence right there to just keep going. And I've had, like, videos that, like, not to brag or boast, but, like, would go on to do numbers, and I'm just like, man, like it really just stemmed from that one spot.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to come on here, because you were like the beginning, you're like the genesis of the whole story. So we're still writing the story, don't get me wrong.
But
yeah.
you also know my brother, because my brother goes to that gym a lot. And you see
Bro,
him, right?
yes, I see him. And if you guys don't know, I moved from New Jersey about a year and a half ago. He was my first friend literally that I met in the gym. Like we hit a few workouts together. Literally, I didn't know that. I didn't know they were related. I did the video with him. Video blew up, and then his brother hits me up. Josh is like, "Yo, you made a video with not little brother. You made a video with my brother," and I'm like, "Bro, that's your brother?
We don't look alike.
You guys don't look alike."
No.
A little bit. I can see that some remnants.
Yeah.
I can see some remnants, but yeah, you guys do not look alike. So it didn't really correlate in my head that you guys were related at some capacity. So yeah, man, I do know your brother from that. He was my first friend out here in Florida, for sure.
Yeah, my dad is white, obviously. And my mom's Colombian, so my brother definitely gets that darker skin,
Yeah.
the darker hair from my mom, and then I get the whiteness from so,
Yeah.
So yeah, but that one thing I wanted to get into is, you mentioned it just now, was you've only lived here for like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That I first met you when you like first came out here.
Yeah.
So do you like it here, and why'd you move here?
I moved here. Well, do I like it here? I love it here. I love it here just because I did find myself here. And I do recommend everybody that lives somewhere their whole life, I would recommend you to move outside your hometown, because you really have to repaint who you are, re-envision who you are. Sometimes we get so connected to the caricature of who people believe you are that we stay in that place. Am I wrong for that thought? Like, let's say for example you grew up playing basketball. A lot of people in Orlando would know you as Chris the basketball player.
Right.
And though that's a good thing, it's human nature to just play into who people think you are. And it's kind of normal, you know, your family thinks you're a certain way, you act a certain way because of it. And over here, I realized that I didn't have any of the same connections that I had from back home. So I really had to like re-envision who I am as a person, question myself on a lot of different things. So that's the main reason why I love Florida. It's what it stood for. I moved here for, family purposes. Definitely my mom, she was getting a little sick on the sick side. So I was just told me and my brother, we got an agreement. We're like, yo, let's just go to Florida. Literally all our families out here, all our families out here. Let's leave Jersey. I'm originally from New York, but let's leave Jersey. That's the last place I lived. And let's go to sunny Florida. I got all my family down here. And when you have family, that's really all you really need. Like you really they're the people that are always going to be around and ground you for sure. You know, some people have issues with their family, but I would say you should always try to do right by them, you know? So for sure.
So living out here, are you going to school currently?
Yeah.
Where you go to?
I go to Kaiser.
And what's your major?
Accounting.
So you want to be an accountant?
It's like I do, but it is something I felt under that students go under like this thought process of just like, oh, I got to go study for something, right? And you might be lost and you might not know what you want to study for a little while. And I really asked myself, I went into school to study biology. I wanted to be a doctor. I went to Bio 101, bro. I failed it. I'm like, all right, maybe this is not for me, right? So I asked my dad, I'm like, yo, Pops, like, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? Like, what? He's like, yo, you got to study something that you are interested in. I'm interested in money. So I wanted to study it just like that, you know?
As long as you're learning.
Yeah, as long as I'm learning. And I feel like it's always viable. I grew up in different businesses, grew up in liquor stores growing up, bodegas. My family just always had businesses. Right now we have a bakery in Winter Park.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely like the ins and outs, inflows, outflows of money. Always interested me. Yeah, bro.
So transitioning from, learning about money, creating content brings you money.
Yeah.
So
not yet, hopefully.
Right.
Hopefully,
that's the goal. That's the goal.
End of the day.
Why do you create content? I'll give you a better question. Sorry.
That's a great question.
Okay, all right, go for it.
That's a great question, bro. Because you gotta know why you do it. You know, you gotta be intentional with everything you do in life. Why I make content? I am a creative person, or I like to believe that I am. It itches. It scratches that little creative itch that I get, and the messages that you get from it is just a different feeling, man. Especially when you create with purpose, you know, like when you start creating something and you start speaking, you're very genuine and you show people who you are. You don't even know who you're touching at that point. Right. You could create a whole little community. It could be 5 people. It could be 10 people. You know, right now mine is very small, you know, but I know for the people that I've already touched, it's just like, it just gives me a great feeling. And I just uncover new different aspects of content creation. At first it was getting my money right to pay for mics, you know. Every content creator, you know, especially, bro, like this setup is pretty nice. So paying for mics was like the first thing. That's like the first thing you really like get into. And then you're like, yo, how can I be better? Yeah, how can I be better? How can I be entertaining? How can I cultivate an audience in different ways? And that would just spark up different ideas. And also I do it with my friends. So it's like a bonding thing too. You know, it's like an all around bonding experience. I grew up watching YouTube. So why not be that person too? You know, it's kind of like the clothes you wear. Sometimes people wear certain designer brands, but I'm pretty sure it will fulfill you more if you could create the clothing yourself, right? 100%. Just like that, you know?
Going back to those messages.
I want to ask you, why are you creating content?
Okay. Before I get to that, I'll get to that, don't worry.
Okay.
The messages. Some people I've known for years, even when they still message me now, it means so much more than like anything. Like,
Yeah.
I'll have people hit me up. Even like it means so much for like my brother and my dad tell me. It's just a different feeling. It really is. And it just motivates me. Like, damn, people watch my stuff.
Bro, you're talented.
So thank you.
You are talented, bro. The way I hear you speak about sports, I'm like, you're just one video away. You're just one video away. Honestly, there's not a lot of people that have that kind of enthusiasm for what they do. You're living your purpose.
Thank you.
And you gotta tell people when they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, bro. Definitely. Like, you know how much stats I've learned already just from watching your page? It's crazy. You're definitely on my phone. Your contact name is Chris A. Smith Bayless.
Oh my God, serious?
Yeah, I gotta add the sharp in there too. But yeah, bro. So that's why you do it too.
So I'll be honest. So I've been creating content for years, whether it was like on Vine, like on TikTok, whether it was streaming on Twitch, posting gaming videos. Like I've just always loved creating content. Like period. So YouTube came around, and that was a thing, and I started watching, Call of Duty videos. The Sidemen, I'm pretty sure you know who they are.
Sidemen?
Yeah, with KSI.
Yeah.
And I watched them, and then I found out you can make money from it. And I was like, yo, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I think there's something here. I could just create content and get paid for it. Little did I know how much work I had to put in, and I'm not getting paid, but I'd be lying if I said that wasn't the leading factor. Was I could make money from something that
you love.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but now I create content because I genuinely have a passion for it, and also the money. Like, if I could do this 5, 6, 7 days a week, and that only be my job, that'd be crazy. So
no, that's a goal, obviously, and putting so much purpose and love behind your content. I do feel like I put a lot of like time and effort into my content. Although I'm not at my beginning stage, but who knows what kind of harvest I'm gonna reap from planting these seeds, right? But it does make me see the difference between the people that are following a cookie cutter way of blowing up and people that are creating for self. I feel like there's two types of content creators: people that create for self and the people that create for the masses. Meaning you're following trends. When you're creating for the masses, you're following trends, you're doing certain things. Then when you're creating for yourself, it's something that if you stay in your lane for just the right amount of time, somebody's gonna notice it. Right. Like Kai Cenat didn't follow a format.
No, he didn't.
He's just being himself.
Right.
And I'm sure in the beginning it was pretty tough, or maybe he wasn't getting the notoriety, but you just got to stay in your lane until it pops, So I'm definitely noticing that too. Like, there's a lot of people that make it far, and you can't compare your success with theirs because a lot of these people, they are following these trends, and it is pretty lucrative, Like, we're in a time and space where if you follow an algorithm more time, I'll say equal amount of times than not, you're probably going to get some success out of it. But if you create for self, it's going to be so much more satisfying once you do make it. For sure, because people will know you. You'll have your community already.
100%. And one thing I think is important is not comparing yourself to others. Because when I first started, I would compare myself to others and like, bro, I'm making better content than these people. Why are they blowing up and I'm not? So, but now I like don't compare myself to other people. And like sometimes, I've been doing social media for like 8-9 years. I get a lot of hateful comments sometimes, but now.
With those takes,
I don't care. Yeah.
For sure.
I don't care what anyone else says now. Like, if it's a negative comment, I just look at it. I'm like, okay.
I was one of them. I think you put a quarterback on top of another quarterback. I'm like, how?
Oh,
it was definitely like that. I was definitely one of those guys in your comments, but it was out of love,
No. Some people like are just behind the phone. They're just ruthless. Like,
on the
screen, you're stupid. You know what you're talking about? Why do you create content? And at first that bugged me, and now like. It really doesn't. And I've taken that and like applied it to like other parts of life. Yeah. Like whether it's, working at work or just interacting with other people out in public and they're just mean. It's like, okay, I don't care. Like, don't let that stuff get to you. And it's a hard mindset, but it goes back years. Like, it did not happen overnight. Yeah. So going back to when I started creating content, I did all this other stuff. And then I blew up on TikTok. My one video that blew up, it was like 2 million views. Yeah. And that's amazing. Helped me like learn not to care what other people think. because I kept getting all these bad comments. But after constantly creating, I eventually grew into that. Like, man, who cares what other people think? You know, you're gonna let what other people think like determine what you do moving forward.
Man, and you know what's crazy? Negativity spreads so fast. Sometimes I wish I had like a whole bunch of people just hating on it just to get some like good, like, you know, like followership. But you're right, bro. There's like the whole comparison thing and finding out your own image. I'm realizing like it's even a part of the journey, just finding out who you are in front of a camera, you know? And it's like you're learning in real time. Yeah. The more you edit your own videos, you start seeing like, how do I want to express myself towards people? Should I improve my diction? Like, how do I even speak? You know, I remember my first video, bro. I remember just talking to the camera and I'm just saying like, and that's just an example, you know what I'm saying? But you're definitely finding more about yourself the more you go through this whole content creation, the more you go through this whole like recording yourself, because in essence the whole idea of recording yourself to show to people is kind of like crazy too, you know, right? It is a little crazy. It's like holding up a mirror and just like, yo, like look at my reflection of myself, you know. But we're constantly trying to put us we're trying to make ourselves look the best, you know, under these lights and under the camera. Like you're really just like, you're trying to show the best part of yourself, which could get a little like toxic too at one point. Like, so how do you feel about that? Like, do you feel like do you have to like disconnect at all from content creation? Or do you feel like it's just like so rooted in you where you kind of like know how to navigate through it right now?
I definitely know how to navigate through it now. And I've definitely learned the hard work ethic. I've always had a hard work ethic, but when it came to creating content, I only wanted to put an hour in and I expected 100,000 views. Yeah. Now I'm up till, I mean, it's just because that's how long I take to like edit and stuff. But now I'm normally up to like maybe 1:30 a.m. Like maybe 4 or 5 nights out of the week, just editing, like making a thumbnail, editing a podcast, doing whatever. Like
it's the smallest details that always take the longest, and you wish people appreciate that too, right? Like creating a thumbnail is like, I did it, bro. I just opened up my YouTube. I was creating a thumbnail, and it looks so simple because like you just click on a thumbnail, and you're like, it's something so subconscious. You click on a thumbnail, and that's it, and then you start the video. But like, there's people really designing these, like, you know, for money too. Yeah, man. Every small aspect really does count.
So staying on content, we're gonna stay on content for a while.
Yeah.
Why do you create workout video content, and what started that for you?
What started was my personal growth as a person. I'm noticing that the more I grow as a person, I like to document it and show people. It did start with working out though. I will say that. Actually, I will plug this in. Okay. I started my first video. I had a friend group, right? Back in New Jersey. And it was like just like us 5 amigos, like us 5 guys. We were making videos, and it was actually getting pretty big. Like, do you remember old YouTube? How there was no algorithm back then? Yeah. And there was like a lot of like good sketch comedy. Mm-hmm. So me and my friends, we landed on World Star Hip Hop. Some of our videos would get like 20,000 views, 40, like 25, 30,000 views, right? And I'm not gonna lie, to get 20,000 views back then on YouTube, it's probably like 400,000 right now, because there's algorithms now that can help you to like push a video, and once it's already pushed, it's gonna keep pushing it. Back then, 20,000 as like high schoolers, 15 years old, we just make like hood comedy, you know, and I think some of them are still out right now. I gotta go fish them out. I think I posted on my TikTok once, but I deleted it because people were just making fun of me for it. But back to your question, the more I tend to grow as a person, I like to document it. You know, it first started when I came out here in Florida, and the first thing I did, you start realizing when you're in a whole new environment that you try to control all the little things in your life because you kind of feel like you don't know. You kind of feel clueless in a new environment, right? I go outside. I don't know the names of the streets. I don't know how to get to the gym. I don't know, etc. So I became very meticulous of just the details when I first moved out here, just to gain some sanity, So I started really controlling me going to the gym, my diet, what time I slept. The first 3 things I wanted to master when I got out here. Compared to when I was in Jersey, I was I wasn't the person I would say I am today. So in Jersey, I was, smoking, drinking, hanging out with friends all the time, not prioritizing my own money, spending it frivolously. So when I came out here, I really wanted to just be very detail oriented. So that's how it started. And I started making. I remember I would be in the gym. I wouldn't know anybody in the gym. I knew your brother. He was literally the first guy I spoke to in the gym, and that's why we hit it off very well. But I remember being in the gym and just not knowing anybody, and I'll just pray like, man, I hope one day like I could just have some friends that I just like would kick it back. And then one day, like I literally met my best friend in the gym, and like we had common interest, and it was up ever since then. Like I told him, I think we have a video actually like proclaiming this as well. So hopefully like in a while, like it blows up and it'll be good. But wait, sorry, let me turn off my phone. No, you're good. Take your time. But gym content videos definitely because I think he noticed the dog in me when I was in the gym, and I noticed him too. So that's how it really started. And who doesn't want to be, who doesn't want to be known? Well, especially nowadays, who doesn't want that? What's the word I'm looking for?
I'll use it lightly. Famous.
Yeah, I would say so. Who doesn't want some notoriety nowadays, So, especially growing up in our age where everything is just put up on a spectacle. Like I feel like we all kind of have like that dream to be a Kai Cenat, to be a Phantom, or to be whoever, XYZ, whoever you really like out there in the space, and you spend your time to watch their content, like everybody kind of sees themselves as that, right? So that's kind of why it started for me, and the more I back to personal growth, the more I grow as a person, I'm finding myself more in my own faith. So now I'm making more like Christian content, and it's actually been helping a lot of people. Not to say that maybe tomorrow I might fall off tomorrow, like lose some faith, and I might make totally different content, right? But let's pray that it doesn't. but I always want to be transparent with where I'm at in my life with my videos, because it's a lot of social media gets pretty toxic because you gotta be somebody else, in a sense. Like it's a very comparative game, like you're saying. People are always comparing themselves to others, and yeah, bro. I do feel like that's probably why I started. But I always try to keep that transparency in my videos for sure.
I want to touch on faith, but
of course,
put a pin in that.
Yeah.
So, I mean this respectfully because I'm in the same boat. As a small creator, how and why do you find yourself continuing to make content, even though the results aren't there?
That's a great question. We're crazy. to put it lightly, we're crazy. Yeah. Because the quote says, who was it? Einstein that said Einstein said, if you keep doing something that doesn't have the same output, I'm paraphrasing. If you keep doing something that doesn't have the same outcome, but you keep doing it more and more, it's insanity, right? Yeah, it's insanity. So, but it is something that's fulfilling. It is something that's very fulfilling. I would say that's why it does fulfill me in a certain kind of aspect. Ever since I was little, I just love being creative, writing, doing music, making videos. Like I remember having a stand-up comedy dream when I was younger too. Like just creating, like that always. I always respected that amongst people, like the people that don't mind putting themselves on display, and up for criticism. I always respected those kinds of people. It's not easy. It's not easy putting yourself up on a spectacle for the masses and getting rejected, and maybe it could lower your self-esteem, maybe it doesn't, and navigating your way through. Bro, I was at Key West probably like the other month, and there was a street performer there. He was like 70 years old.
What? He's
an acrobatic street performer, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, man, like this guy is doing this for the crowd, and everybody in the crowd isn't gonna tip him. If anything, he's probably gonna make a couple bucks from it. And I'm just like, but it's something admirable about that, where you're doing what you love. Like there was no Indeed application for that, So I would say I do it mostly to satisfy my own self-satisfaction for sure. Yeah.
So what's the biggest thing you've learned since you started content creating, whether that's within content creation and editing, or whether that's like personal?
Biggest thing I've learned, your friends aren't going to get you far in this, you know, right?
Such a great answer. I'll talk about that.
Your friends aren't going to get you that far in your dreams. I learned this a little bit before content creation. I was cutting hair outside of the Giant Stadium one time, and I used to have like a couple NFL clients. What's his name? I don't want to name drop. I forgot his name. I had it was a D lineman for the Jets, and
Is this recent?
no, this was like last year when I was cutting hair in New Jersey, and it was the starting cornerback for the Giants, and then he got traded. It was like
Peppers?
no, he's a safety.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Honestly, I forgot. And Giants is my team. Anyways, when I went through my career of barbering, I did notice that I wanted my friends to support me more, and I realized that the people that was putting money in my pocket were complete strangers, right? And you could translate that to content creation and social media right now. The people that will watch your videos, spread them, are people that probably you never even grew up with, you know. I do feel like that is. I do feel like that's pretty normal though, because your childhood friends kind of see themselves in you in a sense, right? So when you start doing something and gaining some kind of notoriety from it, they'll start saying like, "Oh, I could see myself doing that as well," you know. So I do feel like that they don't really support you that hard. Some do. The real ones do. The real ones, y'all know who y'all are, you know. But wait, I'm bad, bro. This is like. They're going crazy on my phone.
All right, good. But yeah, that's a very good point. I didn't write it down, but that's something that if you brought up, I was going to talk about is, you know, I'll interpret it differently. It's like, don't rely on anybody.
Yeah.
But yourself. Like, literally. Because when I first started creating content, I'll say back in like 2020, it's like when I first actually really started creating content through streaming. I told my boys, I was like, yo, I'm gonna start streaming. They're like, all right, let's go. You know, I'm gonna support you. You know, they were in my streams and everything. Then after that, a year or two passed. I on and off on streaming. Then I started uploading Call of Duty videos, and I'm like, oh guys, I'm gonna upload videos. They wouldn't really watch them, you know, and they wouldn't really repost. And I felt
and it's not that they don't like mess with you. It's more like they're just consumed with their own day.
Yeah, and I felt some type of way. I was like, man, like y'all are my boys. I've known y'all like 15 years. Why aren't y'all like liking and like commenting and like, oh, I like this? And so that rubbed me the wrong way. I don't, if y'all watching, I don't mean any disrespect, but eventually I came to realize like, this is me. Like I'm creating content. Like I'm creating content for a certain type of group, and like, if they don't want to watch it, they don't gotta watch it, But at the same time, like I wanted that support. But once I transitioned strictly to like sports and football, that's when like I noticed like there's only I can count on like besides like my brother and like my dad that really watch my content, like maybe like one or two people like that are like my close boys.
Yeah.
That like actually watch my content. And I was like, man, like why aren't the others watching?
Yeah.
And I felt some type of way, but at the end of the day I kind of realized like, it's all right. Sort of like I need to learn to just focus on my content and I don't mean that disrespectfully. Like
of course.
I just have to focus on my content and not make content just for like my 4 friends and wanting them to support me.
Yeah, let me ask you a question bouncing off of that. Would you rather your 10 friends get 10 viewers from your friends, or would you rather focus on your content and get thousands of other viewers?
Thousands of other viewers.
Yeah, that's what we do it for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the way you kind of got to think about it. Everybody has the friends where they're just like, yo, bro, let's create a podcast together, right? I think every friend group is known for that, to have that kind of like topic come up, or yo, let's create a YouTube channel. Let's do this, let's do that. But at the end of the day, it's all about who really is serious about it, and you kind of decipher it through time. If nobody's putting in for production or even showing up to a shoot day, you got to learn how to do it yourself. You know, I really don't take it personal though, honestly, because I do know that they have like their own necessities. You know, we're all pretty grown, so like they might have like their own bills that they have to pay, or somebody that they can't speak a certain way on camera for. Sometimes it's their family pressure, sometimes it's like their girlfriends, stuff like that. So it's crazy too. Like I have friends that are in relationships and they don't fit the way that they are with me. They might not feel as comfortable being that way in front of a camera because like a certain level of transparency. You know, so if you can't even be that transparent on camera and with your spouse looking, which should be your best friend, it's kind of crazy, you know, like it's kind of like different. I feel like you got to be a content creator, you got to be very transparent and very sure of who you are too, you know, even if you might not start that way, you're going to end up being that way. In a sense, it helps you grow up a lot more. I think it ages you like at least 10 years. It definitely ages you like 10 years of wisdom. Yeah, for sure.
One thing that I kind of want to play devil's advocate here is,
okay, I love that.
If my boy, like one of my close boys, if he was creating content and I was on the outside looking in, me personally, I'd be the first one to comment. I'd be the first one to like. I'd be the first one to repost. I'd be the first one sending it to everyone. Yo, go watch. That's what I would do. So that's why I took it personally, was like, I would do this for y'all, but why would y'all not do it for me?
I feel like you think you would do that. And I feel like you would do it consistently. Not saying that you're a bad friend. I feel like you'd probably do it consistently for like a week, maybe a month. But like when you start dedicating your personal media, catering it to your friend, maybe one day it might slow down. Sure. You know, so we do have, well, I know I have supportive friends, but I know I can't really count on their reposts all the time. My content just has to be good enough so that the masses can see. That's how I kind of see it. And I was gonna get into another point. I totally forgot about. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, man, I do feel like you got to learn how to like just do it without a friend. Carry your own. You know, when no one's really gonna get you to where you want to be. Right. You got to do it yourself. Yeah. You know, which is the really tough part about it. Yeah. But once you learn how to get over that aspect, and you realize that these challenges will just be a continuum of other challenges, then you're gonna get really comfortable. You're gonna get really comfortable with it. And I had a really good thing to like compare it to, but I totally forgot when you were talking, bro.
It's fine.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to talk about is, I remember this was 2 years ago when I was uploading Call of Duty videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
I kept like questioning myself, like, man, I want it now. Like, I want to be famous now. Like, I want 100,000 subs now. I want to make money now. But little did I know, you know, the plan God had for me was like, you know, you're not gonna do this anymore, but you're gonna keep doing this, and you're gonna learn so many different things of like content creation. You're gonna learn how to do your thumbnails better. You're gonna learn how to edit better. You're gonna upgrade, you know, your equipment over time. You're gonna learn to invest in yourself. So, for any other content creators out there right now, don't want it now. Rather just go with it, learn, and just build upon it. Because I'm so glad I didn't get all of it when I was asking for it. Because I would be half the content creator as I am like now. Because I've learned so much. Like my thumbnails have gotten so much better. Like I said, I invested in all my equipment. I'm like, so just be patient. You know, your time's coming. If it doesn't come, you know, God's got a plan for you. It's going to steer you in another direction, whether it's like media or, you know, working for somebody that does content creation. You know, just have patience.
Let me ask you, would you keep doing this if you never got paid? And don't give me the political correct answer. Like, of course I love it. You know, we like at one point, like let's say you're 45 and you maybe your needs change in life. If you were to never get paid, would you still do it? Is it like is it like a hobby for you now?
Honestly, now it really is a hobby. Especially over this last year and a half when I started doing football content. Yeah. It's definitely been a hobby.
And you're definitely killing the football. You do it. It's so natural.
Thank you.
Bro, I learned more about in football with your content than I do like watching like First Take. Bro, it's great how you do it.
Thank you. But to answer your question, I don't know how long I would go until I was like, I gotta hang it up. And I don't want to give you the politically right answer, but I probably just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Genuinely, because I like doing it. Whether I've transitioned to a podcast now because it's the off season. But once the NFL season comes back up, I'm gonna do my regular stuff again and maybe do a podcast here and there.
And that's what makes the difference though between
being versatile.
Yeah, and also when you have the mentality is just like, yo, I'm gonna do it regardless of the outcome. That's what changes the whole game. You gotta have like a certain level of like a switch in your head where you're just like, man, I love this. It's part of me. I'm still trying to pinpoint what part of it we really attach ourselves to, but there's just something about it that it's addictive, kind of,
I'm stuck right there.
Yeah.
What is your goal with content creation? Is it full time? Is it hobby?
You know what's funny? Right now it's part time, but when I first started, I did want to get sponsored. And it is still a dream of mine to be sponsored by like an Anaka Power or a Gymshark. I got to sway more into my gym content now because I was doing like a personal branding and more lifestyle videos. But the more I get into my gym content, for sure, I do want that. That's like, and it seems something so minuscule because like a lot of people get like those sponsorships. Yeah. But once I get that, I'm like, you know what? I feel like I hit my goal. But once you hit your goal, you already know like that's not the end. You want more. So hopefully, fingers crossed, within next year or so, hopefully I get a little sponsorship. Okay. For sure. I'm gonna speak it till existence, bro. I'm manifesting it.
Manifest it.
Yeah.
Speaking of manifestation, kind of ties into faith a little bit, praying.
I love the transitioning. Right. Good transitions.
Thank you. So I watch your vlogs. I watch maybe like 3 or 4 of them.
I appreciate that.
So obviously we talked about faith earlier. So how has your faith impacted your content, and then B impacted just you as a person?
Man, my faith really made me feel convicted for a few things that I've been saying over my early content. Early content, I'm just dishing out. I'm dropping like F-bombs, like, and I still curse. Don't get me wrong in my circle, like, but I definitely do put it at a minimum now. I feel like when you establish that your relationship with Jesus, it just naturally convicts you to just be a little bit more pure hearted. So those stuff just naturally don't come out the same. Like that kind of, I don't have an affinity for that kind of language anymore too much, but it definitely changes. And sometimes I do question it. Like, is my content going to get more boring the more I'm in my faith? Right. But really, I feel like I get more purpose and I feel more driven to create discipleship. Sometimes one of my close friends, which it was my, long story short, he was my captain for football in high school. He moved out here the same time I did to Orlando, and we always kept tabs on each other, and he's very much into his faith. And then he hit me up the other day. He's like, yo, man, like, you could easily be making like any kind of content, any kind of thing to draw people away from God. And people will probably like look at it and follow you just from like your energy and how you are. And that really stood out to me because if I could just push somebody closer to God, that's kind of just everything to me, at this point in my life. So it definitely changed me in a way that I just do feel a little bit more convicted in a certain sense, but I do want to push more people. I'd rather make sure that you're closer to God than make you laugh, So it's different things. I feel like I'm being more fulfilled now, whereas in back then I was looking for that validation, and now I feel kind of validated, regardless if the camera's on or off. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. So I would say that, and personally, having faith, personally, it helped me progress a lot in personal relationships. It teaches you how to like love correctly, It definitely teaches you how to love correctly, I would say, and how to treat people. I don't want to sound too cliche. I'm trying to make it more personal. Let's say you haven't had the best relationship, let's say with a friend, a spouse, a parent. When you become closer to your faith, that's really all you want to reach out to and hold and make sure that they're doing good just as well as you are. And It's funny when you're a kid. Tell me now, when you're a kid, you feel like all the adults have everything, like they have everything under control. When really you grow up and you start realizing that they're just trying to they're just trying to find their way just like you, right? And that way, faith helped me give people a lot of grace. You know, give people a lot of grace, even for their mistakes. It helps you forgive. And I'm somebody that's like, it's hard for me to forgive, but I'm realizing that it's only affecting me at the end of the day. So I would say that it's just all around been better for me as a person. Like there are conversations I don't even participate in with like my friends, right? And it gets kind of hard because they're just like, oh, here this guy goes again, like preaching or saying something positive. And personally, I laugh at it, but I do realize that maybe one day I could be planting a seed right now, but maybe one day, maybe my close friends would just like have some discernment in what they say, or they might feel a little convicted, or might feel like, you know, but I know I'm only pushing them towards the right thing, you know, pushing them away from negativity. Mm-hmm. So I would say that. I would say that. Okay. How's your faith? Like how's that? How's your relationship?
Good, man. Good. Right before I get into that,
yeah,
we'll get into it.
Of course. No, you're good. You're good.
One thing I want to tie into is loving everyone, right? Jesus loves you just as much as he loves your enemy, right? So one thing that kind of helped me get over like not really caring what other people think is like, you know, if I see a negative comment and I'm sitting there and I'm typing and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get this guy, and then right before I click send, pops in my head, what would Jesus do?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I wanted to hit send so bad. So that definitely helps me, like, man, you know.
Negativity spreads so easily, bro. And it's like, it's such a ravenous feeling. You're just like, it could overtake your body. Mm-hmm. And like, this is the thing, bro. Like, I'm Christian, right? Are you Christian?
Yeah.
All right. So we're Christian. So we try to be Christ-like, right. But we're not really Christ himself. We're going to be like, we're going to have all these emotions, and sometimes it's going to get the best of us. And sometimes you might feel like you're in your 100% right to like say back something, tell somebody something, right? But you don't know even what they're going through or what they're processing. Same thing with like road rage. Like personally, I can't understand when somebody just like screams behind the wheel or flicks somebody off, because like driving is not that serious to me. Never been much of a car guy, but driving has never been like that serious to me. But you could get overtaken by that kind of negative energy, and you see it all around the world, bro. Like it's all in the conversations of like your peers. It's in the conversations of your friends and people you love. Sometimes hatred could just overtake a certain situation. It could cut ties with people that you really love. You know, like it's such a real thing. You know, and the main question that my friends always ask me, especially the ones that like don't really have a relationship with Jesus yet, is like, bro, like how can God make all these bad things happen? Mm-hmm. And I simply put it like, just because there's a God doesn't mean that there's somebody on the other side of it too, that is fighting just as hard. And one thing about this world, negativity spreads, sex sells, and hatred is just like everywhere, you know? So, and it's funny because we make content for these social media apps and DSPs and everything, but these are one of the biggest proponents of self-hatred, you know, like being on any kind of social media app, you even being Hispanic as well, like there's like self-hatred aspects in like different parts of the world, and it's just how we discern ourselves from it. And can you open up that third, quote unquote, that third eye to really make that discernment between the two of them, you know, between the good and like, are you adding goodness to the situation, or are you putting more fire? Are you fueling the fire, you know? So once you create that discernment, don't doubt it. There's something really working in your spirit right there, you know?
Yeah, but my faith is big, man. I blessed enough to grow up with, you know, two parents that, you know, took me through church and everything growing up, so that was definitely a big thing. Gave my life to Christ. I can never remember if I was like, I was 11.
Yeah.
I was in 6th grade. It was just so long ago, but I did it. I meant it, and since then, recently I had like a little revival over the last like 2.5 years. I was playing basketball and I like herniated my disc.
Yeah.
Had to go through all this therapy and everything, but little did I know God was trying to draw me back in and everything. So yeah, I try and do my devotional every night.
Amen, bro.
And getting her into it and everything.
This is something so new for me, bro.
Yeah.
Literally. And maybe that's why I'm like so like preachy right now about it. Maybe I'm like a decade in. I'll probably like be a little less, but it's something so new for me. I never grew up in a church. I think I've been to a church. I could probably think about it like once. And it was a month before I moved to Florida where I took it upon myself like, yo, let me just go to church and just pray for a new arrival. And then I still go to church by myself to this day, every Sunday. It's just planted a seed and just having more conversations. There was a time where I was even I was looking into being Muslim. I have, where I'm from in Jersey, there's like a lot of Palestinian people there, right? And they were the people I really respected a lot because I would see kids with a cross on their neck and just committing like the most, they'll use it as a fashion statement, and they would just commit the most, like the biggest sins, and they'll just speak from hatred or something. Then I saw like my Muslim friends, and they were just like so like, family values, praying, and I really did respect it. And I read the Quran a couple times, and I was really close to being there. And then I had a conversation with the football captain, the one I brought up earlier, and he really he planted that seed in me. He's like, bro, don't let go of Jesus as your Lord and Savior. And that, once I started looking more into Christianity, I don't want to tell people how to live. I don't want to tell people like what's right or wrong, because man, I love you regardless. Like I feel like I'm pretty eclectic. Like I could take from any kind of culture and all that stuff. I'm like Jersey, man. Like, but I don't, I just don't want to tell people how to live. But definitely that's what sparked it though, for sure. I never really grew up in church. It was until I moved out here. And you know what's funny? In New York and in New Jersey, there's not a big area for church. Like it's not a big thing to go out there and go to church. Only people I really knew that go to church are like my friends' grandmothers, my friends, like maybe their aunties, like, but it's like nobody really like goes to church. It's not like a thing like it is down here. Maybe it's like the South, maybe it's because of that. Everybody's a little bit more conservative.
Yeah. Going to church and like being Christlike is definitely like a lifestyle, but it's a hard, I don't want to say being a Christian is easy, but I wouldn't say it's like hard, and I don't mean that like disrespectfully, but it definitely challenges you like mentally to like, be the best person you can be. And then once you slip up, like asking for forgiveness and trying to be better and spreading the gospel. So it's definitely a journey. Yeah, a life journey. It's
the biggest form of accountability. Putting a mirror in front of yourself, like what am I doing wrong? Essentially,
it's literally, to tie back to content, it's essentially live streaming yourself 24/7 to the whole world.
Like, I never thought about it like that.
Right? Like,
yeah.
Here I am. Here's my raw. And, when I mess up, people are going to, oh, you're Christian. You're not supposed to be doing that, right? Yeah. So, to tie back to content, it's, live streaming 24/7.
Live streaming for God. But you know what's crazy?
What?
He's not going to give you a negative response or negative review. He's going to accept you how you are.
Right.
He might push you.
Right.
He might push you the way, the proper way. Give you some good discernment, but he's not gonna leave you a hate comment. No.
And he can't give you anything. He won't give you anything you can't handle.
That's true. That is true, man. And I could respect anybody that's just in their faith, regardless of religion, because essentially a lot of them do preach sort of the same morals. Yeah. So I would say, man, whatever culture you're in, if you're listening to this, whether you're Muslim, Buddhist, Christian, tie more into that, because there's a lot of worldly things that are going to pull you and attract you to the world, and it might not be the best for you. It might feel really good temporarily, it might satisfy your flesh, but it's going to take away from your spirit. So that's probably what I would like leave it off with like my own faith, and the last advice I would give for that, because the thing is, people could hear about it, right? And I feel like you won't understand God until you reach rock bottom, and then you start realizing the rock at the bottom is God.
Yeah, that's a good
right?
One. That's a good one.
I just made that up.
That was good.
Right? Let's go to the studio after this. but yeah, man, I honestly, and speaking about faith is something so like new for me as well. I love yapping, bro. You see my vlogs, I'll yap to the camera all day long, you know. But it's like, are people gonna shut off their ears when I keep talking about it? You know, or maybe it's just not my crowd or people that's listening. Maybe I got to put a new hashtag, and maybe get some new demographic. But yeah, bro.
So the 3 F's that I grew up with:
Mm-hmm.
faith, family, football. So
Johnny
going to
Manziel.
family,
Yeah.
you mentioned your parents; they have a bakery.
Yes, they do.
So tell me about that. Like, how did they get started? How long has it been in business? You know, what's it like?
So my family, we've always had businesses growing up. I grew up literally in a liquor store, a bodega, but you know, bodegas are really big up north. But when we moved out here, we actually started a little trucking thing, and that kind of went a little south, and we reinvested it into a business in Oviedo. It's probably like 5 minutes away from Winter Park, Oviedo, Florida. And it started just basically off of, I'll say, necessity. My parents always preached to me that you always want to take matters into your own hands and be your own quote unquote boss. I hate saying like be your own boss, especially in today's like climate where it's just a hustler mentality or like this entrepreneurial mentality, like the 5 a.m. club. Like people feed into these words, but really it's just I would say when you start your own business, it's like literally when you open the doors, you say welcome, you put a grand opening sign, you didn't make it just yet, you know. You definitely have to put in time with that baby. Man, we're still there, you know what I'm saying? Like there's still things that we could like tweak and refine. But yeah, it's really just us. Like it's just the whole family working. Like my aunt, my mom, my dad, me, my brother, like my other aunt. It's just a family business.
What's it called?
La Fortuna Market. That's my second last name, Fortuna.
Okay.
It means fortune. But yeah.
So obviously it's going to be this really stupid question, but bakery. So what?
Oh, okay. So we sell a lot of like Hispanic delicacies. So, well, obviously we got to sell empanadas, obviously, but you know, Nutella croissants, quesitos, corbatinas, the guava, the queso, a whole bunch of stuff, bro. Like sweet bread, coffee, a whole lot of stuff, bro.
Okay.
A lot of good stuff, man. Y'all gotta check it out if y'all are in the Orlando area.
What's your favorite empanada?
Trick question. If you're Dominican, it's called a pastelito.
Okay.
And chicken, of course, bro.
Chicken,
of course.
Okay.
Gotta be chicken, bro. Get that protein in you.
I'm a beef guy, I'm not gonna lie.
Beef?
Yeah, because obviously each culture has their way of making different empanadas.
Raisins?
Huh?
Raisins in the empanada?
Oh heck no.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Okay. Good.
So the way Colombians make them is they put the meat in there and then they also like mash some like
potato.
potatoes.
Yeah, that's what we have. We have Colombian empanadas over there.
Oh,
Yeah.
bussin'.
Amazing.
Puerto Rican empanadas. Growing up in Orlando, Kissimmee, a bunch of Puerto Ricans.
Yeah.
I grew up eating those. I don't know. They're just not my style.
It's more fried.
Yeah.
It's more fried. But you know the thing is, Colombian empanadas they are like corn shell.
Yeah.
So I feel like I gotta be in the mood for them.
Okay.
I like Venezuelan empanadas.
Those are good too.
Yeah, they're like a little bit bigger,
Yeah.
and it's flour base instead of corn base. But yeah, bro, we also got those. You gotta check it out. Bro.
Colombian
You gotta check it
empanadas are
out.
Crazy. I like them too because at least the ones that my mom gets, they're like packed to the brim on the
Oh,
inside. And like
those are
you
good.
just bite into it and it's just like gushing with meat. Pause.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Is it near UCF? Right?
It's near UCF. It's literally 10 minutes away.
Is it off of like University or anything?
It is off of 419
Okay.
Road 419.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll say about like 10 minutes away.
Okay.
I'm still not too good with streets out here. I'm not gonna lie. If you told me like, yo, you go to 45th Street in New York, I know exactly where you're at. Or 189th East, I know exactly where I'm at. Over here, it's like go to Belo Lago Trail. I don't know where anything is, bro.
Yeah.
I still need a GPS. It took me like 4 months to go to the gym, like without a GPS, and it's literally just going down the same road. It's going down the same road. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I'll be so lost without my GPS. I'll be so lost without it, bro. It's bad. It's bad out here.
So I want to ask you, because before you came on, you were like, I don't really know sports too much.
Yeah.
But you're a Giants fan, right?
Let's do it.
What's your favorite sport before we get into the Giants?
Oh, football, for sure. Football. I played football in high school and a year in college.
Oh, you're in college. What'd you play?
Linebacker. But I played in high school. I played running back, linebacker, but I sucked at running back, bro. People could punch that ball out of me so easy, bro. So I always liked the defensive aspect of football, for sure. And it was just fun flying around, hitting people. It was like that was like the funnest part for me. So yeah, I'll say football. I grew up loving basketball though. Basketball was my first love. I remember just being at the park hours every single day after school. Every kid has that hoop dream at one point. Yeah. Especially the underdog hoop dream where you're just like, yo, I'm gonna show them I'm nice. And then you spend hours and hours. Yeah, bro. So basketball is definitely something I fell in love with. And then football is just something that I just naturally caught on to because I was doing weight room since middle school. And all the kids in the weight room were just going straight to football. All my buddies were there too. So it was an easy transition. What about you? What's your favorite between the two?
To play or to watch?
Watch.
Ooh. Damn, I love me some NBA, but I gotta go with NFL.
I think the older I get, I just can't get into every young person that's coming into the league. In NBA, in the NBA. Bro, I remember just growing up on Vince Carter, Allen Iverson, and that's the heyday for me. D-Wade's my favorite player of all time. That's just the heyday. And I know I sound like an old guy right now. I sound super old right now. I know that. I'm 25.
Oh, when do you turn 26?
Next year, January.
Oh, okay. I turned 25 this year, December.
Hey.
You're a Cap?
Recorder. Aquarius.
Oh.
You?
Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I don't get into
Yeah.
stuff, so I'm just,
That's the most you're gonna see men bond about Zodiac signs.
I don't get into that.
Yeah, bro.
So the Giants, what do you think if you want to?
Wait, you say you're a Cap?
I'm a Capricorn.
I'm gonna get off this podcast. No, I'm playing.
So the Giants, what do you think?
Don't even bring up the Giants and Saquon Barkley. I'm upset. But you know what? I understood it though. He's a Pennsylvania native. He went to Penn State, grew up in Pennsylvania. He wants to go to Philly. I get it. But why? But why go? It's why go to another NFC team? And also, they traded him away for a pack of bubble gum, bro. It was a second round pick, 24th pick or something.
Oh, I thought he was a free agent.
I'm pretty sure that the Giants received a second round pick and a 4th round pick.
Okay, damn, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah.
For a generational talent.
Yeah.
But Eagles are gonna go crazy next year.
What do you think the Giants need aside from?
They have a great defense.
A quarterback.
Yeah, they have a great defense. You need a quarterback, obviously. They gotta stop being racist, bro. Bro, honestly, they never had a black quarterback besides Tyrod Taylor.
Okay.
And if you want to count Tommy DeVito, he's good in the cookout. but yo, they really never had a black quarterback. I think when Tyrod Taylor made a touchdown this year, it was the first black quarterback ever to create a touchdown in Giants history. And not to make it too racy, but bro, we see it. The best quarterbacks are mixed. All right, let's not get into it too crazy, but they're mixed, bro. It's a whole new wave of Steph Curry's and Patrick Mahomes coming out here and just giving you the best of both worlds. The accuracy and the athleticism. It's just crazy. So Giants organization, y'all gotta do better. Y'all gotta draft a black quarterback, please.
Who? Caleb Williams? No.
I wouldn't mind, but no, we don't have first pick.
Well, what's your pick?
I think we have 3rd. I'm pretty sure. I think we have a top 5 pick.
Yeah, so you could get Jaden Daniels.
I'm not too well read on college football, but I have heard of Caleb Williams. I know we're not gonna get them because Giants never have a pick that everybody wants. Last pick that I was excited for in the Giants was probably Jabril Peppers because he's a New Jersey native. He went to Paramus Catholic. That's probably 20 minutes out the way. Yeah, so he was a hometown hero. So, but traded him away. Besides the point, they do need a little bit of everything, bro. They need a smorgasbord of offensive players. They need offensive line. Their defenses. You know what I feel like? I feel like they're gonna be the new 2012 Steelers. If you've seen their pickups right now, man, bro. Their front five and then their linebacker core is already crazy. They picked up some good defensive backs. All they really need, I don't believe in Devin Singletary to carry the offense. All they really need is probably one more back and maybe one more solid receiver. We got some pretty like good backup receivers, but I think like one standout receiver, you're good. And I don't really believe in Daniel Jones too much. I don't really believe in him. I was a fan for a little bit, you know, Danny Dimes. I was falling into that. I was falling into Tommy DeVito. I fall into whatever the Giants want me to fall in for, right? But they definitely do need another quarterback. I will say that.
And Darren Waller retired, or he's going to, right?
It's in question. Okay. It's in question still. He still hasn't officially done it. But his tenure with the Giants, it was terrible. Yeah. He got injured. I think he caught like one ball. Like it would, bro. Like when I heard that we got Darren Waller, I was so excited. I'm like, yo, we finally got a nice tight end that isn't 35 and literally had the worst season of his career. Yeah. And but we had some good highlights with what's his name? Galladay?
Kenny Galladay?
Yeah. We had some good sprints with him. Backup players, what's his name? I forgot, bro. Basically, I don't know, bro. Literally, that's how much y'all should know about the Giants. If a fan doesn't really know the linebacker, the wide receiver core, you already know they're doing wrong. They're doing bad. But yeah, I would say that's what they need.
I was sitting here thinking, I was like, man, no other black quarterback. Geno Smith, remember he came in and he stopped.
Wasn't he? But he was in the Jets. He played for the Jets.
But who was the quarterback that came in and stopped Eli Manning's like 212 straight?
You're right. It was Geno Smith wasn't there. Yeah, he did, but it was like half a season.
It was a game.
It was a game.
Yeah.
Wow.
A game, and then they benched him.
All right, but are we counting that? Are we gonna count that one game?
I was like, damn, they really. And then I was like, wait, Geno Smith played for the Jets or the Giants. So,
that's pretty cool, playing for the Jets and the Giants.
Yeah, in the same stadium.
Wow, same stadium. That's kind of broke, bro. Like, I don't like that. How like MetLife is shared with two teams. It's a New York team. It's literally like the epicenter. It has so much money there.
And they play in New Jersey.
In New Jersey, it's not even a New York team.
What's it? East Rutherford?
East Rutherford. Yeah, bro. Shout out to East Rutherford, bro. I love Rutherford. It is a beautiful place. If you guys want some good food, Italian food, go to Park Avenue. Very good restaurants over there. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. I love it. I literally used to work on Park Avenue.
Really?
It was very nice. Yeah, I loved it. That's where I was cutting hair. Yeah, for sure.
Well, damn. You got anything else you want to talk about?
Anything else? Bro, this was an amazing sit down.
It was. It really was.
Word. And I'm very excited to see the outcome, bro.
Hell yeah,
we did it. And we gotta do it again on mine. Let's do it. You want to be all right? But I was actually talking to Aunt about a podcast about just sitting down and just chopping it up. Mm-hmm. But this was beautiful. If you guys made it this far, I love you guys. Jesus loves you guys. At Millie Stay Active on Instagram and Millie on Cam on YouTube. And I appreciate you so much for letting me come to your humble abode.
Of course,
bro.
And if anything, we could do a workout video.
A workout video? Oh, that would be fun. That would be great.
80 days straight, I've been working out.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been straight weights, but
yeah.
I've been working out, staying in shape.
Better than me.
So,
I've been slacking.
So,
yeah.
I'm down to do that. Just let me know.
Bro, let's do it.
Yeah, bro. Thank you for coming on. Hope you all enjoyed. If there's anything, you want me to talk about in the next video, or, if you want it back on, just drop it in the comments below. But yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Good stuff.
Bro, that was great.
That was fire.
That was actually really fun, bro. I appreciate that.
Bro. That was awesome.
Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah, of course.
Heck yeah.